Hello, and welcome to episode 20 of Not for Thought. Yeah, man, episode 20, let's go! I can't believe it. I'm so excited that I've made it this far. I'm gonna keep going. I've missed a couple episodes, but yeah, sorry for not uploading on Sunday. I didn't really have anything to talk about psychedelic experience wise, and honestly I didn't even realize that I didn't upload until like late at night. I was like, oh shit, actually I think it was Monday that I realized that I didn't upload anything. And yeah, I was just hanging out playing video games and shit, man. I didn't really have any psychedelic experiences. I smoked a bit of DMT, but nothing at all remarkable. I'm trying to kind of take a step back. um, I don't know. I feel like I want to limit myself. I want to have a little bit more control on how much I'm smoking, because I have so many moments where I just load up a tiny bit into a bowl or something, and it's kind of abusive towards the DMT in a way. And I don't think I should be doing that anymore. I shouldn't be doing it at all, in my opinion. For me, other people, I've heard some people smoke DMT on the daily, and they're fine. They have great times on DMT, but for me, it's abusing it. And I don't know. I'm the type of person that the more that I do something, there's a diminishing value, a diminishing return over time with anything, and that's definitely the case with drugs. Anyways, today I was thinking we would talk a bit about some alcoholic experiences. I know that that's not really a psychonaut topic. It's not at all, actually. But I have some really, really notable experiences, and yeah, I think I already had this prepared for a while ago, so it's like I'm gonna roll with this podcast today. It's the 20th episode, man. Let's go. Let's talk about some crazy alcoholic experiences. Again, I know it's not really a psychonaut topic. It's not at all, but it's pretty interesting, I think. I have some pretty interesting stories, and I'm only 21. I'm close to being 22. Yeah, I'm only 21, and I've had some insanely, insanely drunk nights, and just insanely heavy alcoholic experiences. Anyways, yeah, so I've had a lot of family and friends that have drank. I won't go into too much detail, but I've had a couple of family members that have passed away from alcoholism, and I have family members that are in AA and other family members that are still suffering from alcohol addiction. So I'm not trying to bring anything negative into this podcast, but I just want everybody to be aware that alcohol is pretty dangerous in my experience, and I try and honestly not drink as much anymore because of a lot of these experiences that I'm going to talk about, and the fact that my family has suffered so much from it, and I've had friends that have suffered from it as well. Fucking, I noticed after listening to a couple of my podcasts that I keep clearing my throat in like every other minute in some of my videos, in some of my podcasts, so I apologize for that, because that's fucking so annoying. I had one podcast recently where there was one part where I was straight up just coughing into the fucking mic, and I didn't even like say excuse me or anything after. I just ignored it. So I mean, I usually expect to edit it out. I usually do edit it out. There'll be like one or two little or whatever, but usually I don't like straight up cough into the mic. Anyways, so yeah, I apologize for coughing so much and not editing it out a little bit better. My God. Yeah. Anyways, so my first experience with alcohol, my first real experience, I remember that it was just like, it was uneventful, man. I was like by myself. I was bored. I knew that my dad had some like hard ciders. What a gross first alcoholic drink. I don't even know if it was hard cider. I don't know what it was. It was fucking nasty. And I drank one, and I remember like wanting so bad to feel it, but I didn't. I remember people saying that like objects and the floor and the wall kind of comes at you a lot faster, and you fall all over the place. Like things just move a lot quicker, um, and your reflexes are a lot slower and shit. Which yeah, that's definitely true. But I just remember hearing that and like wanting to feel that and not, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna go get another beer. So I drank a whole fucking cider and didn't feel anything, which is kind of crazy. But maybe it was just because I was so skinny and my body metabolizes shit so fast. I don't know. So I went and got another one. I got, I think I ended up drinking like a couple shots of gin or something fucking nasty. Whatever my dad had outside. He had like a garage fridge that he would stuff full of crap, of like alcoholic drinks, and that was really it. That was really all that was out there, was like mixers and alcoholic drinks and beers and stuff. So I would just like go into there and rifle through what he had. He actually didn't really drink very much, and so that's why I had to be really careful about that's why I had to drink stuff like gin and hard cider, because I knew that was the stuff that my dad like never drank. Anyways, so I ended up getting kind of drunk, and I don't know, it was an alright night, but it kind of sucked at the same time because I was by myself and I was just bored, dude. What a horrible way to start drinking, just because you're bored. I don't know. Anyways, and I wasn't with anybody. That's what really sucks. Man, I swear I have friends. But actually later, the first time that I got like fucking wasted and completely drunk, I was 16. My actually I might have been, no, yeah, I was 16. I had a friend that had just turned 17, I believe. Yeah, and it was in October, so that would have been 2017. So it would have been a while ago. I don't feel like doing math. Um, and I had this crew in high school. I think it was junior year of high school. Yeah, I was hanging with this crew of pretty cool dudes. Man, I miss that crew, honestly. And yeah, it was somebody's birthday, and we got fucking drunk. We were dumb, man. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. You know, it was a crew of like around probably, I don't know, less than 10 people, but between like 5 to 10 people, I would say. And we were all very underaged at the time. Underage, very underage. And we were all like 16 and 17. So we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. So we just started like drinking like crazy. We just start taking shots and going hard, and before we know it, there's people like fucking vomiting everywhere, and it's a total mess. Like there's nobody that can drive home, and there's only one guy that's sober that had to drive home like fucking 6 people, and people had to leave their cars back. Like it was a messy night. I remember I vomited in my fucking hand. Oh, it was so fucking bad, dude. I was like just sitting on the couch or something, and out of nowhere I felt like I had to fucking puke. So I start charging to the bathroom, and somebody's like washing their hands, and I was like, fuck man, move. And as I said that, I started to fucking puke, and I had to like catch it in my hand because I was right near the fucking toilet, and then I just like let it all out right when I got to the toilet, and the guy moved out of the way. Oh my gosh, but it was disgusting. I had puke all over my fucking hand. I remember telling my friend, he was washing his hands, right? And I was like, dude, oh my gosh, I almost just puked all over you. And he was like, oh shit, well, hey, make sure to wash your hands. Anyways, it was a fun night, actually. Even though it was like insanely drunk, I remember getting home and like puking in a fucking trash bag in my room because I couldn't make it to the toilet, and I was just, oh god, it was awful. That was a really rough night, and we probably didn't drink that much. You know, we probably drank like a couple shots each, but none of us had a tolerance at all or knew what we were doing. So who knows if we had any food before we started drinking or whatever, you know. And some people didn't have it so bad, but most of us got like really fucking wasted and not in a fun way. I remember when my friend who was the DD pulled up to my house because I was like the last person and I was probably like the most drunk. Um, I remember when he pulled up, I think I said like, "Thanks, man. Sorry for being such a nuisance" or something like that. And when I said that, he just was like, "Dude, what?" He did not understand what I said. It probably came out like, "Thanks, sorry, you know." It was probably just mumbles. I doubt it made any sense. Well, clearly it didn't, cause yeah, he was just like, "What?" Yeah. Um. Anyways, that was a fucking rough night. That was the first time getting wasted, and it sucked. Well, no, it was a lot of fun. But then when I got home, like I said, I like puked into a trash bag and got vomit all over my fucking floor. I remember it was right before Halloween, so my dad came into my room the next day in like this crazy fucking outfit, man. He was in this like punk rock outfit. He had like he does not have long hair, but he had like this wig on and oh man, it was pretty fucking funny actually. And he walked in and was like, "It smells like puke in here." I was like, "Yeah, it's because I vomited in fucking bag all night." And then I used like I didn't even use floor cleaner. I used like bathroom cleaner to clean the fucking vomit out of the floor. So of course it didn't work. Anyways, that was pretty weird time. Um, yeah. So after that, I did not like getting drunk really at all. I remember for a portion of time in high school, I was like so against drinking hard alcohol because of shit like that. And it was just so much more unpredictable when it came to beers. You know, you can feel it out a lot easier as you're, you know, it takes time to drink a beer. It takes no time to take a shot. And so you can take a bunch of shots and not feel it, and then 20 minutes go by and you're fucking drunk. But that doesn't really happen with beers in my experience. And so yeah, and even now I try to stay away from hard alcohol for the most part. I still drink hard alcohol like a couple times a week. But anyways, so then I started to drink a lot more in college, dude. That's when it got fucking bad. Like when I turned 19, 18, 19, no, 18. I remember that summer, like before I went off to college, I drank so fucking much. I would come home and have like a couple beers a night, and I was 18. For me, that was unusual, and from all the friends that I have. You know, I knew some people. There was one guy that I knew who would straight up drink before he would go to school in the morning. He would get drunk in the morning and then go to school. I don't know how he did that. Even now, I don't know how you don't just like fall asleep halfway through the fucking day. But for me, coming home and drinking a few beers a night at 18 was unheard of for the people that I was around. Um, yeah, and I also did it a lot more alone, a lot more drinking alone, you know, because like I said, I would get home after work and then pop a couple beers open and get a little buzz, you know. But I didn't get too drunk. Like I wasn't drinking hard alcohol every night, like I said. You know, it was borderline alcoholism at 18 for an 18-year-old. Like an 18-year-old should not be drinking 3 to 4 to 5 beers a night. I don't think. Totally opinionated, but in my experience, I feel like that did damage to my head. Maybe not. And it also definitely tubbed me up. That definitely made me gain some weight. But anyways, I moved up to Greeley, Colorado, in the United States, and I met this dude who was a total alcoholic. That's not something that I would ever claim about anybody else other than myself, because I'm a strong believer in not that's not something that I feel like anybody else but you can can claim, unless you've lived with, like, I ended up living with this guy, and I mean, he drank a lot. He was an alcoholic. All right, and like I said, I wouldn't usually claim that, but I lived with him, and I mean, you learn a lot about a person when you live with them, especially for a year. And I learned that he was an alcoholic. Anyways, I met him, and I knew that he drank a lot, but I thought it was mostly just with me, and just because he was like a party dude, you know? Anyways, yeah, I started to drink a lot more, though. He was really into hard alcohol, and so I started to drink a lot heavier. I remember for like a couple months, there was like a whole semester where I would hang out with him like every other night. We would be drinking every other fucking night, which was so unhealthy for me. It was just so toxic for my brain, and I feel like it gave me so much anxiety and caused a lot of depression as well. Not to mention I was just a lazy fuck, and I would have much rather have gone and hung out with him than do homework or anything actually important, you know. I would have much rather had a beer in my hand than do something productive, and that was like the start of my own alcoholism. Anyways, yeah, so one story I thought I would talk about that was fucking crazy. So we were in my dorm. This was, I think, my sophomore year of college. We were hanging out in my dorm, and we drank 99. I think it was, I don't know. I don't know what kind he would get. I don't remember. It was like 99 watermelons or something like that. If you've ever had 99, the liquor brand, it's really, really strong, harsh alcohol, hard liquor. It's strong, and we drank like a whole fucking bottle one night on top of beers and shit. Like, we were wasted. It was probably one of the most drunk nights I've ever had. We were fucked up. And anyways, at one point I remember I was laying down, we were watching TV. He was like probably loading up a bowl or something, and I sit up, and all of a sudden I just have to fucking vomit, you know? So I start charging over to my trash can, and I was so wasted, I think I just fell. Like, all I remember was getting up, like lifting myself up off of the bed, and then all of a sudden I was like on the floor next to my trash can, and my trash can was like in pieces because it was this plastic trash can. So I must have like gotten up and just fell into my trash can. It was like across the room, right? So I must have gotten up, fallen over, and like slammed into my trash can because I just obliterated the fucking thing. And then all of a sudden I was like, I must have like blacked out for a quick second or something. And then I kind of came to, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? My trash can's fucked. What's going on? And I remember like jokingly saying, because I was so wasted and I couldn't move, dude. I was so fucked up. I couldn't stand up. And I remember telling my friend, like, dude, you could totally just like kill me if you wanted to. Like, joking, you know, I don't know why I said it, but I was totally joking and fucking wasted. And he was like, oh, like this? And he comes over to me and like almost chokes me out. I think he was just like trying to be funny and go along with it or something. I don't know, dude. I literally thought he was about to kill me because he did it for a little bit. And I remember like, oh my gosh, I remember like having to basically like tap him out, like, dude, you're choking me. You're actually choking me. I remember saying that, like, dude, you're actually fucking choking me. Stop it. But it was more like, you're actually choking me, you know, because he was. I couldn't fucking breathe. And I remember him like getting off of me, and then just like going and sitting back and doing whatever he was doing. And I remember just like sitting up and being like, what the fuck was that? And I was super, super wasted, keep in mind. Like I said, I was blacking out and shit. I fell into my trash can. I was out of it, but I remember this clear as fucking day because it was scary. I thought he was gonna fucking kill me. And I mean, I kind of asked for it in a way, but I was totally joking, and I didn't think he was gonna come over and fucking strangle me for a second. That was scary, dude. He straight up came over to me and like grabbed my neck. and was like choking me out for a second. It was pretty scary. And like I said, maybe he was just messing around, and who knows, maybe he was super fucking drunk and he was like, fucking, I'm gonna choke him out for a second. I don't know. I don't know, man. It was scary though. And yeah, I mean, stuff like that didn't happen all the time. Like that. Like he was never violent with me, but I had some really, really scary moments like that kind of all the time. Yeah, so another night that was really fucking scary. I remember we were hanging out at his parents' house. He was like 26, but COVID hit and a bunch of stuff happened and made him move back in with his parents, whatever. But his parents were gone one night and they had a huge fucking house with a pool table in this one room. So we were hanging out, drinking and smoking in the pool room. And we were drinking a lot. I remember drinking beer after shot, and I did not eat any food the whole day before. And I think I drank probably about a half a bottle of hard alcohol on top of a couple beers. And that's just what I remember. I was really, really fucking drunk. And at one point I went and puked, but I didn't have any food. I didn't eat anything. So I puked like, it was so gross, dude. It looked like, it was like a bunch of black chunks. It was so fucking nasty. I puked up like a bunch of this like liquidy black shit. It was so gross. I remember telling my sister, and my sister said that that was blood too. But after that, I ended up puking. Well, I called my friend over. I remember yelling to my friend, but I was so wasted that it took a couple of tries. And then finally he heard me and came into the bathroom and he was like, "What, man?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm puking blood." And then I puked and it was straight up like, it was blood. I was straight up puking a bunch of blood with like a little bit of water mixed in, or alcohol, I guess. It was really freaky, and I did it like a couple of times, and I remember my friend being like, "Dude, stop, I don't want to go to the hospital, stop puking blood." It was really bad. It was pretty fucking scary. That's only happened that one time, and hopefully that's the only time it ever happens. Oh my god, man. I remember every time. This doesn't happen for everybody, but I think the fact that I'm a little bit skinnier, I get super shaky in the morning after I drink really, really heavily. I'll wake up the next day and I'll just be like super fucking shaky and jittery. Like I almost can't hold it together. I hate that fucking feeling, man. Ugh, it's so uncomfortable. And I think it's just my body trying to rid itself of the alcohol that's in my blood. But oh my god, I hate that. And yeah, I've had some really, really miserable times hanging with that dude and drinking. I mean, holy fuck. He drank so fucking much and got me to join in with him. And I was no, I was 6, 7 years younger than him. I am 6, 7 years younger than him. So I have a little bit less of a tolerance than he does. And I kept up with him, but man, ugh. I didn't really experience hangovers until some of these nights. Well, like I said, I got the shakes the next day and felt so anxious, and I would also feel depressed sometimes, and I feel like just not right mentally. And yeah, that was the beginning of some more serious hangovers, because I didn't really have any hangovers for a while. I would feel fine the next day. I could drink again the next day and think nothing about it. But when I started hanging with this dude, man, he got me so drunk that I started having hangovers. Yeah. But I've gotten pretty good at this point at gaining control of my drinking, you know? Like I said, I've had some really... there's so many experiences that I didn't talk about in this podcast that have happened or that I've forgotten about, you know? And to be honest, I don't know if this is gonna really get that much attention. We'll see. If this gets a little bit of attention, maybe I'll try and put another episode together kind of similar to this one or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not honestly very close with that friend who would drink really heavily and like kind of choked me out that one time. I mean, there's lots of reasons why I'm not friends with him, but the main reason is the fact that he acted so much different when he was drunk. Like, he was the friendliest, nicest dude when he was sober, and then he would do shit like that when we were drunk. Not all the time. That was just an example of the kind of person he would turn into when we were really fucking drunk. And he was not very pleasant to be around. But then when he was sober, he would be like the nicest, friendliest person. He was so cool, always trying to share shit. Just a well-rounded individual when he was sober. But then when he was drunk, he was like an asshole and just not fun to be around. And he drank a lot, and it just kind of ruined the person that he was. And I hope he's doing all right, honestly. I hope he's getting control over his drinking, or not. I mean, like I said, I don't like to diagnose people on alcoholism. I think that's something you determine on your own. But I lived with this guy for a year, and these stories weren't even from when we lived together. All these stories were from when I lived on my own in the dorms. So, yeah, when we lived together, oh my God. I'm not going to talk about the things that he did, but yeah, there were some. He was an alcoholic. He is. And I hope that he's regained his control over drinking or just completely stopped. Because, like I said, he was an extremely cool dude. He was like my best friend when he was sober. But then when he would drink, he would just be such a dick. And I honestly, I fed off of that a lot too. Like, I can't blame it all on him, on why we're not as close of friends anymore. You know, I can't just blame it on him because I drank as much as he did at sometimes, and I was an asshole too. But I mainly fed off of the way that he treated me, and everybody's different on different things. Some people will drink and just be like light and nice and in a good mood and all happy, and other people drink and they just want to like break shit and fuck shit up and be dicks and stuff. It just depends on the person, I guess. So yeah, yeah, I don't hang out with him as much anymore, and I truly do wish him the best. um and my drinking constantly goes back and forth. I'll have a week where I'll drink like a fucking crazy person. I'll drink like a lot. I'll drink like an alcoholic, and what I consider myself to be an alcoholic, you know. And yeah, because like I said, I think everybody has different definitions of alcoholism. One person might consider alcoholism like a beer a day. Other people might consider alcoholism like a bottle a day, and or a couple bottles a day. And yeah, I don't know, man. This isn't necessarily as fun of a topic as usual, I guess. But there's lots of fun experiences that I've had. I guess looking back on this podcast now, it's not as exciting as they usually are. But I'm going to try and end on a positive note and talk a bit about Shambhala for anybody curious. Oh, man. Yeah, I guess that's it on the alcohol experiences. Like I said, that's not all of the experiences that I've had. That's not even close. Because I lived with that one guy for a whole year, and there's a ton of shit that happened. Mostly it was him just kind of doing crazy shit, so I don't really want to talk about that. But anyway, yeah, the rest of the podcast is going to be probably about Shambhala and just random crap that I want to talk about. Well, I wanted to talk about that before too, but just random rants and shit, I guess. I don't know, man. Yeah, so oh my God, I didn't take a hit of weed. I just looked at my pipe. I took a drink of my coffee and set it down, and right next to where I set it down is my pipe. Oh my gosh. Anybody listening is going to be like, he never took a hit, because nobody's going to listen to this part. Fuck. Well, anybody that is, I guess you get a special little treat. I'm going to take a hit of weed. Unless you don't. Unless you're not into that. In that case, it's not really a treat. But hey, just hang out for a second. Or smoke with me, if you do smoke. So I talked about how much I loved the totems at music festivals, because I've noticed it's not at all raves. There's lots of, I think, venue areas that just don't allow them, which makes sense because some people have totems that are like fucking 20 feet tall and stuff, like ridiculously tall. I made one this past weekend that, well, more like past week. Excuse me. Um, yeah, I made one this past week that I'm pretty happy with. I think after looking at everybody's, they're so well made. When I first got into this whole scene, I remember seeing totems and thinking that people buy them from somewhere because they look so professionally made. Especially at Shambhala. Well, every music festival, they're all so, they look professionally done. They look like they're made, um, like, by a machine or something. They look too perfect. And props to people that make totems that good. Mine is not. Mine, like, people have lights that line their, that like make words or line the areas of their totem. I don't know. Mine's not. Mine's not quite as nice. I used to like these string wire lights instead of using like the strip lights that are super straight and um, really bright and usually one solid color. I chose these like wiry, stringy lights that don't look quite as nice. I mean, I could maybe add some more lights. So my totem, I should really just pop up a picture, but that sounds like so much work. Um, my totem is this like it's this little mini raver dude basically, and he's made out of styrofoam. He's probably like a foot by a foot long and tall and wide. He's not very big, but he's got like a little two little arms, and he's got like a little totem himself, and he's got like little glasses. He doesn't have legs because I didn't feel like adding them. It sounded like a lot of work. But then underneath him, I have like a bunch of these fake leaves and shit, and then lights scattered throughout those. Well, I actually bought lights or fake leaves that had lights already like embedded in it, which was pretty cool. Excuse me. Um, and then I have like a little handle that's made out of this scarf. I gotta add a little bit more to the handle, but yeah, I have like this scarf kind of dangling off. Well, it creates the handle, and then part of it dangles off on the side. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it was innovative, but at the same time, it's just not as professionally and clean looking as everybody's from Shambhala, from other music festivals. You know, mine just looks not as clean, man. It's not. It doesn't look as professionally done. It looks like a child made it. And like I said, I'm pretty happy with it. But at the same time, I keep looking at everybody else's, and I'm like, damn it, everybody else's is, for one, they're way taller. Mine is only 4 feet tall, because that was the only option I had, basically. So I went to Walmart, because it said that there was a wooden pole, which would have been perfect with the leaves and stuff. It is what it is. But, yeah, I went to Walmart, and there was supposed to be this, I think, 6 foot wooden pole for like $4. And when I went there, it just wasn't there. I'm guessing somebody probably picked it up and moved it, or maybe it was in the back area. I don't fucking know. In like the back stock area, I'm not sure, but it wasn't there. And the only option that was there was this 4 foot black painting pole, and it's made out of metal. I'm not entirely against it. I mean, I'm happy with it. I think it actually looks pretty cool. It's a little bit less distracting than the white pole, than like PVC. But the reason why people choose PVC is because it's super light. And I didn't realize that. I mean, you'd think that a painting pole, like when I say painting pole, because I don't know what the fuck else to call it, I just mean like, you know, those rollers, like the pull part of it that you would attach the roller to. That's what I used as the totem part, the actual pole. It's just a little bit heavier. It's a lot heavier than PVC, and it's noticeable. I mean, I'm trying to get a little bit more used to it. It's still not bad because, like I said, it is meant for painting. It's meant to be used with a roller, so you wouldn't expect it to be all that heavy, but it's made out of metal, and that kind of causes you to lose some or gain some weight there. And yeah, there's some little things like that that I wish I would have done differently. But like I said, for the most part, out of 10, I'd give it like a 7. I'd give it like a 7, yeah. Because there's lots of things that I could have done differently. I would have liked a wooden pole for the weight, and because I think it would have matched with the leaves a lot better. Not to mention, it like makes this like, I don't know if you can really hear that, but it like makes noises because of the metal, and it wouldn't do that if it was wood. And it's colder to grab. The pole is, since it's made out of metal, and I feel like that's not as cozy feeling. I don't know. But overall, like I said, 7 out of 10. If I had some different lights, like the strip lights and some other things, I maybe could have made it a little bit more professionally well made, or at least made it look a little bit cleaner, but at the same time, I don't know. At least it's done. Well, I still have a couple little things. I also got this like rubber stopper on the bottom, so it doesn't just slide all over the place. It actually like stays in place if you put it up against the wall or something, which is fucking awesome. I love that. Because before it was like a plastic handle on the bottom for the paint roller, you know? Well, that, yeah, fuck. You know, like one end you attach the paint roller to, and then the other end there's like this plastic handle. Anyways, it just kept sliding all over the place, and I actually broke him. I broke the guy off of the top of the pole twice because it kept sliding around and it would just like fall over, and yeah. So I'm glad that I got that rubber stopper on the bottom. It has a handle which is pretty cool. It's not that heavy. It's just that if it was made out of wood or PVC, it would really be easy to swing around in the air. And I do like that it's 4 feet tall because it gives me the ability to like put it up in the air or take it down. You know, like it doesn't have to stay in the air, which is nice. I wish that it was maybe like a foot or two taller. Yeah. I just like put it on my chair to compare the height. Oh, that would be so cool if it was like just as tall as I am. I'm not 6 feet tall, but if this was 6 feet tall, that would have been perfect. I also thought that it extended. That was, I guess, my fault for not checking that beforehand. But since it was a paint roller, I thought that like it would extend out. But then I got home and I straight up tried to grab the thing and like extend it out, and obviously it didn't. I felt like a dumbass, but I was also pretty upset because I wanted to extend it. I wanted to have the ability to like choose how tall it is, you know, instead of just having one set height. But like I said, I am happy that I can kind of bring it down a little bit and not have it like blocking anybody's vision if I don't want to. Or if I'm in a really crowded space, you know, and I don't have the ability to be swinging a fucking totem around above my head. You know, it's nice to be able to bring it in a little bit closer to me and not have a 20-foot fucking totem that I have to deal with. I feel like that would kind of suck. I feel like that would take away from the dancing and stuff. Maybe not. But I like the ability to put it up into the air. I don't know. Like I said, it's not perfect. There's lots of things I would have done differently. I will do differently if I do make another one or make a different one. But it wasn't very cheap. Like, if you add up all the different materials, like, he's made out of... He doesn't look professionally done at all, right? But for using a bunch of, like, styrofoam and pipe cleaners and plastic glasses for a child, you'd think that it would have been like really cheap to make, but in actuality, I think it was around $60 to $70 to make this 4 foot tall totem that I'm not entirely happy with. You know, it does light up. Like I said, I do have lights, like quite a few lights, which is nice, but and it does feel like a cool walking staff. Like for when I'm walking around Shambhala, I think it'll be great to like use as a walking stick kind of thing. You know, my fucking psychedelic, weird, trippy totem pole walking stick. Um, but at the same time, a part of me is like, I want to make another one that's better. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, I just spent like what fucking 8 minutes talking about a goddamn totem pole that I made. I love it, dude. Every time I come home, I just like want to pick it up and hold it. Like right now, I'm holding it, and I love it. I love the totem pole. Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm still having shitty ass luck. The rave community, dude. I think I'm right in the sense of thinking that it's basically like every other community. I think that at music festivals, I don't know, dude. There's this plur in all a bunch of stuff like that, but it feels like I haven't. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like I'm not included in that. It doesn't feel like people are treating me any differently than usual. Maybe not. I don't know. Like I keep having conversations with people on Radiate, and then they'll just like stop talking to me out of nowhere, and it won't even be a boring conversation. Like this one dude, I had this long ass conversation with this one dude, and then out of nowhere he just like mid conversation he stops talking to me, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? It was so weird. I don't know. I'm like, maybe people just delete the app or just don't want to talk to me anymore. But like I said, it'll be out of nowhere. I'll be having good conversations with people, and then just boom, done talking to me. And it's like, okay, fine, fuck you too. So much for Plur. What the fuck? I don't know. I feel like if even like the other day, like there's this dude who posted this fucking like thirst trap picture, I guess, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I saw the first comment was like, hey. It was this chick that was like, hey, and then after that it was just this fucking this storm of comments about how Radiate has turned into this dating app, this borderline dating app and stuff. And it's true. Yeah, even the girl was like, yeah, it's always been this way. And she's probably right, you know. It's just it feels like the rave community is the same as every community. It's just that I don't know, man. Like I said, I'm waiting to be proven wrong. I said the same thing in my last podcast, and it feels like I just keep proving myself more right. I just keep being proven right more and more. I'll have a conversation with somebody that'll just end out of nowhere. There's things like Radiate that still seem like fucking Tinder, but a weird version, and it's crap like that just make it feel the same as every other community. Make it feel the same as everywhere else, you know? But the good news is that I think the people at music festivals, and definitely at Shambhala, are still, I don't know. See, I've had like 4 conversations with people on Radiate that are going to Shambhala. Like that one guy that I had a full conversation with, and then midway through, it just out of fucking nowhere, he stops talking to me. That guy was going to Shambhala, and he was giving me a bunch of Shambhala information. I actually talked about him on one of the podcasts because he gave me some pretty useful information to go to the Frontier-Patterson border crossing, and then out of nowhere, the guy just stops talking to me. I don't know, it's so fucking weird, man. I mean, I guess it's not. I get it. People are people. People are people. I mean, I don't know. It would have been nice for this community to treat me a little bit differently than everywhere else, you know, because I don't fit in with anything else in like where I'm at right now, in this location wise. You know, like I'm in an area that is surrounded by farmers and lots of rednecks and hicks, and I don't fit in with that, you know? And I do fit in much more with the rave community, and I don't know. I'm getting off topic. There is no topic besides Shambhala. But like I said, there's still lots of time before then. I just want to ride to the fucking festival, dude. I just want a ride. That's all. I posted on Facebook. I tried. I tried posting on Facebook, and that did not go well. Nobody really replied, but I had one of my own friends post. Oh, this guy's such an asshole. This dude literally wrote on my post in the discussion board. I don't know how he found it. I don't know how he found it. He claimed to be a part of the group, but then when I went to like invite people, it literally he was the first person that popped up. So I think he went onto my profile and like maybe I'm assuming the worst of this guy, but keep in mind this guy, I don't know, this guy's fucking frustrating. He's like a leech. You know, those people that just are constantly asking you for things, and like that one guy or one girl, one person that's just always asking you for something. Hey, can I get $5? Hey, can I get a cigarette? Hey, can you get me this? Hey, will you do this? He's one of those people. And I posted into this discussion board, and he straight up told me, he wrote in the comments, message me, bro. Like, and not only are people gonna see that and think, oh, it looks like he found a ride, but the guy also wasn't offering a ride. He just wanted something from me. Instead of being like, yeah, dude, let's go to Shambhala, he just wanted something. And that was not a good sign. That was not a good sign. When I was talking about how it seemed like everything was, how Shambhala was calling to me, that was unfortunate. That was definitely not a negative sign, which I'm willing to acknowledge, you know. At least I'm not just ignoring it and being like, it's nothing, because it definitely is. That sucked. That really sucked. But, so I think it's just going to be me going by myself, I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm really worried about my car, dude. I hate the idea of taking my car across country, especially when it should be so much easier to find a ride. It should not be this hard, but the fact that it's in Canada, I think that's the main thing. Like, it would be, if I was in Canada, really anywhere in Canada, I feel like it would be pretty easy to find somebody that's going to the festival to find a ride. But the fact that I'm in Denver, Colorado is very specific, and the fact that I need a ride is also very specific. I don't know, I've seen so many different areas, dude. I've seen Seattle and Texas, Dallas, Texas, and Seattle, Washington. I like way more than that. People from California and all these different places, but nowhere in Colorado. So, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure how to get a ride. I'm not sure how to find people anymore. I keep going on to Radiate in hopes, but it's looking pretty slim chances of finding carpool group, which sucks because not only is it rough on my car, not only am I worried about my car getting me there and back, but also in the long run, like afterward, that's probably gonna fuck up my car. I'm probably gonna have to do a ton of repairs or some shit after I do a long trip like that. Yeah, we'll see as it gets closer to the day. I might post again and Radiate and see if anybody will help me out with a ride. I don't know, I keep getting different responses. You know, some people are like, you got time, and then other people are like, it's way too close to the festival to find a ride now, and I don't know. The fucking tickets are sold out, so I guess thinking about it in that sense, if the tickets are sold out and I haven't been able to find a ride, the chances of me finding one now probably isn't gonna happen. That sucks, dude. That sucks. I don't know. I guess I'll just have to take myself, figure out a way to get my car there. I'll have to do a ton of repairs, and I don't know, man. It's just gonna be rough on my car. I don't want to do that, but having my friend post on my fucking comment on my post like that, oh, that was so frustrating, dude. And I was like, come on, man, people are gonna think that you're offering to ride with me. dummy. And you're not. So why are you doing that? Yeah. At least I got my totem done. Somewhat. I want to remake it, but I mean, I really like it and it's cool, but like I said, it doesn't have a very professional quality to it that everybody else's totem seems to have at music festivals. You know, I don't know. My car has been really trustworthy, and if I get some big things done with it, maybe it'll be trustworthy taking it 20 hours across country. I don't know. I really don't know, man. But yeah, I'll try not to talk too much about this since it's coming up on an hour for the podcast here. Um, I was also just thinking about how, like, Shambhala does feel like home to me, and I was just wondering, how do people truly make that home? How do people, like, live at music festivals, basically? Like, they have to go back to reality at some point, right? You can't just migrate from festival to festival. And I think a part of that is just finding, well, like, I know that there's a lot of vendors that have their own shops and stuff and then go from festival to festival. So I guess that's an idea. I don't know. I don't want to take away the fun of festivals by making it a job, basically, but I guess if you enjoy your job, then you're not taking away from it, depending. I don't know. I wish that I could just live at Shambhala. I think everybody does that goes to Shambhala. But I don't know. I'm just not happy where I'm at, dude. I hate this location that I'm at, and I don't like my job. I don't like school. I wanna start my life and go to festivals, and I don't know. I'm getting off topic. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright, I guess I'll probably end it here. Yeah, man. Thanks for listening. This has been Not for Thought. Have a nice day.